Hello and welcome to our new feature, DRS Race Buildup. So I'm Smug. I'm here for the next few minutes. I'm just going to do a bit of a build-up, bit of a history of the race that we're about to go to. And this is the start of the new season. 12 race calendar, starting off in Bahrain, a night race. A popular choice for many drivers. Because it's one of those go-to tracks when you first get the game. It's quite a simple layout to learn, it's open, it's fast, and it's a good place to learn a bit of setups. But this season, for the first time, we haven't got a champion on the grid, or I haven't got a reigning champion, I should say. Scornful Griffin has chosen not to race full-time in either championship this season. So that opens it up, and I'm sure Ben Lane is licking his lips with excitement after finishing runner-up, taking his first victory in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago, just taking it down to the wire as well without a victory. He'll be looking to go that one step further and take the championship this season and take that trophy home and bask in the glory of being a champion. But there's others that will obviously want to stop that. We've still got Simon there, we've still got Swanton in there, still got myself, and some very competitive drivers all wanting to prove themselves and make amends for last season. Now they understand the game a bit more and really push.
Right, good evening everyone, and welcome back to Season 6 of DRS's Monday Night. Shortly we'll be heading over to the live commentary from Blobby Butler, as we'll be starting our short qualifying and we'll be starting the 50% race. Tonight, race 1 sees us heading to Bahrain. Bahrain's famous for being the first Middle Eastern circuit on the F1 calendar. This was back in 2004, and since then it's become a night circuit. This was to celebrate its 10-year anniversary. And since becoming a night circuit, I would say it's become a bit of a fan favourite. So this circuit has 15 corners. We have 3 DRS zones, 3 actions and 2 low traction corners that can be very difficult and can catch any driver out, especially when pushing too hard. Whether you're Monday night, whether you're Thursday night, whether you're pro, whether you're pro-am, these corners can catch anybody out, especially when you're not thinking about them, when you're maybe chasing someone down or whether you're trying to defend someone. These corners can be punishing. The first 2 action zones fall into Sector 1. This is a non-stop, sort of action-packed sector. This sector's probably going to be where most of the overtakes are going to be made during a race. You first come into turn 1, you're travelling at max speed, you're then heavy on the brakes, and this is one of the heaviest braking zones, if not the heaviest braking zone on the circuit. And this is going to be your best chance of making a move as you enter the first action zone. Corner entry is vital because you've got turns 1, turns 2 and turns 3 all immediately following you as you turn right, left, right. And then just when you think you've navigated these corners and kept that car behind you, boom, you're hit with the DRS zone and then you're going into turn 4. This is the second action zone. So good luck trying to keep that car behind you. You've just done those corners. Then you thought, oh yeah, I've kept them behind me. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Now you're in the DRS zone, going into turn 4. Yeah, good luck trying to keep that car behind you again. Sector 2 is it's got the 2 most difficult corners of the track. We're talking turns 8 and we're talking turns 10. These are the 2 low traction corners, and these are both downhill hairpins. Not only have you got the speed that you've got to contend with, but you've also got the weight of the fuel that's in your car as you come down into these corners where the grip levels are so low. These corners can be so punishing if got wrong, but if you get these right and execute them perfectly, they can be so rewarding. If you get on the throttle too early, or if you're too harsh, too heavy on that throttle, your car is going to be spinning right round, just like famously said by Pete Burns. The tyre temperatures are going to soar during these corners, and you can take a lot out of your tyre life if you get these wrong. So these corners can really damage your tyre strategy if you don't take these right. Again, if you're going too deep, if you're getting that throttle too early or spinning that car around, boom, those tyres spinning temperatures trying to cool them back down, you're in trouble. But if you get these corners right, they're going to set you up for that second DRS zone and that third action zone as you get into turn 11. So these corners are vital to a successful Grand Prix. Then come the preparation corners, as I like to call them. So this is turn 13, turn 14 and turn 15. You line these up, you sort of play the patient game, and then when you get down that back straight, that DRS zone, boom, you're chasing them down and you're getting ready to attack into turn 1. So that's our final DRS zone. Sector 1 and Sector 3 for this track are basically, they're kind of identical. It's all about top speed. But then you've got Sector 2, which is where you've got your low traction corners and your sort of windy corners. So this is why most people you're going to see running a balanced setup, because yes, you want the top speed, but you also want the corners and the low traction. So you're going to see a mixed variation setup. Probably going to be running the mid, sort of low to high 30s. That's where most people's wings are going to be running. And then suspension is going to be reasonably soft for a circuit like Bahrain.
So Bahrain, the 5th time we're going to Bahrain. 4 races over the last year in DRS in F1 22. The last 2 races were a sprint race and a feature race. We've only had 3 different winners though. So I won the first one back in season 1. Symes won 2, he won the sprint and the feature race in season 2. And then Boris won the last race we did here. Good old Boris Johnson. So we'll all be looking to add to that tally. Boris isn't racing on Mondays at the moment, so he won't be able to add to that. I'm sure Simon will want to make that 3 wins out of 5, but there's many other drivers wanting to take that victory as well. The last 2 times we've been here, pole hasn't always been the best place to be. Pole hasn't won the race, regardless of what happens. So let's have a look at a few race starts. So MK5 on our sprint race, so he gets a much better traction, much better start than El Newt next to him, and closes off that door down to turn 1. Then carries on to lead for a few laps, but unfortunately Syme ultimately gets past him, squeezes through for that victory, and takes pole for the feature race. So Syme on pole for the feature race. He's then got MK5 next to him in P2 on the inside. This time again MK5 gets an amazing start. He gets up the inside of Syme very quickly. Before we know it, he's blocked off that inside route like he did in so Syme couldn't do what he did in the sprint race, and then MK5 ends up leading through turn 1 and running away a bit with the race. That is until strategies, incidents occur, and then Boris ultimately ended up in the lead, and he finished about 7-8 seconds ahead of P2 and took his first victory of the season. Wasn't without incident in Bahrain, particularly for myself. In both races I ended up getting a puncture. In the sprint race, lap 10 out of 10, 3 corners from the end, got a puncture. And then in the feature race again, to the hilarity of our commentator, Bunny's Vengeance at the time, go again 2 laps from the end. Ruined a P4 in the feature race and ruined a P10 in the sprint.
Right, who do we reckon is going to win the season opener? Well, this is going to depend. This is completely going to depend on whether or not you're superstitious or not, because there is currently a DRS opening race winner's curse. We've got to come up with a name for it. So please, if you've got any names, fire them at me and Smug. We'll take them down. We'll come up with a curse name, because that's a bit too wordy. We've completed 7 seasons. A pre-season, 5 Monday nights and 1 Thursday night. The opening race winner has never gone on to win the Pro or the Drivers' Championship. So again, this season, is this curse going to live on, or is it going to be broken? Both our tiers this year have incredible drivers. I think this season's probably going to be our closest yet. especially because we've got MK5, we've got Scorn, and we've got UJ who've stepped away from the Monday nights, and we've also got Mr. Pickle, Sloth and King Kong who have been promoted to Pro. And I think these would have been most people's favourite picks for the Pro-Am Championship. Levi's also gone in the opposite direction, stepping from Pro down into Pro-Am. We'll see how that fares for him. I think the 3 Pro drivers you're going to be looking out for on this circuit, Ben Lane for sure. I think he'll continue his success of last season and he'll be looking to improve on his runners-up position from last year. But has he got what it takes to become a DRS Drivers' Champion, or is he destined for a runners-up position? Only time will tell. My favourite for this race is Syme. He doesn't tend to qualify very well here, but his race pace on this circuit is up there with the best. I think he'll certainly make up places, and personally I think he'll be on that podium step for sure. But he's got to keep his cool, because his temper can reach the heights of the Sakir Desert temperature, and if he loses his head, that's it. He's gone. The 3rd driver, a new one for the majority of you, is Colin. I think his racecraft, his race savvy, is going to make him a favourite for many race victories this season, but especially here in Bahrain. The real question is going to be, has he been out of the game too long? Or is he going to return with that hunger and passion and desire and step up? 3 Pro-Am drivers keep a watch on for me. Levi, 100%. The guy's pace is terrifying for a Pro-Am driver, especially at the night circuits. He seems to has his car on rails at these night circuits. So I don't know what solution he's sticking on his tyres, but I need that. I need that. It's just whether or not the demotion to Pro-Am is going to spur him on, or is he going to knock his confidence? So, again, time will tell for him as well. Dark horse of the season, and for this race, for me, is Miller Vanilla. I think he showed some real classy drives last season, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him on the podium at the opening race of this season. Again, it's just, can he push for that next level, or is that going to be too much for him? Again, we'll just have to wait and see. I would also have to say, from the pre-season that we have seen in Bahrain, you cannot rule out Easy Life. I think the pre-season pace that he's carried is phenomenal. You can see him up there challenging with some of the pros. So it's just, is that challenging going to be too much for him? Can he keep that up, or is he going to flop? Right, that's it. Let's get ready for tonight as we head over to the sun that's setting in the Sakir Sands. Good luck.
Let's hope for a good, clean race. I'm certainly going to look after my tyres a bit better. I think I've got to. But right, I know I can't wait. I'm going to get ready. Hopefully you're excited for the new season as well. So, without any more messing about, next up is the DRS Bahrain Grand Prix.